Oh, and here come the horses for breakfast. So excited. And just so you know, horses have a lot of energy, especially around food. And so this is why I wanted to bring you along for this part of my day, which happens every day, like it or not. And I think this is like such a good picture of our inner teams, and managing our inner teams and all that energy and all that lovely, lovely life. So I'm just going to set myself up and come back. So I'm going to do a voiceover here because the wind noise was terrible and you couldn't hear me talking into my AirPods at all. And so I think you can see a lot of nonverbal body language in this video, and it might just be nice to have me not talking as we watch these horses get their breakfast. I want you to notice the physicality. They're very present and they're so powerful and they're so expressive. And there's a lot going on. This is a 10-minute video and there's just so much communication happening between the three of them and then with me as a human just coming along. All of them are certainly expressing horsey impatience. And Eclipse generally insists on being fed first. But she's gotten a little bit less pushy about this. She's able to tolerate Tundra being a little closer to her than she used to. Blue Jay just stays out of trouble. That's her goal in life, is to not be in trouble. It's really interesting how horses move their feet, and moving their feet it's so important. When we confine them and ask them to stand still, we are taking away so much. It's probably similar to asking me to stop talking. It's very, very hard. So their way of moving, their way of communicating is very, very much in motion. Tail swishing is sometimes flies, but there's no flies today. It's really a lot about irritation and kind of communicating a little bit of grouchiness. And this is very, very typical in the morning, but today I felt like there was even more energy than usual. You can't hear it because I've turned the sound right off, but there are quite a few ravens, and they're having a little altercation over where the horse shelter is over there. And so the horses are listening to the ravens, and they are distracted by, I don't know, stuff that I can't see or hear throughout this whole breakfast. Tundra in particular doesn't settle. And the sequence of events is very known to everybody. They all know what's coming next because I try to do things pretty much the same every day. So this hay is not excellent hay. So they're not thrilled about it, but I put 3 piles of hay down. Then I take Blue Jay out so she can have her senior feed in her own pen, um, because she's the lowest on the in the ranking, and so people other horses would steal her food if I didn't separate them. And I don't really want to stand there while she eats it because there's quite a bit that I give her. But Tundra is quite jealous of this. Tundra is quite jealous in general of me giving attention to anybody else. I have to watch that because she gets a little bit pushy into my space, like an adolescent. So the next thing is me bringing out oats for Tundra and Eclipse. And this is where I really ask them to be polite and respect my space as I'm offering them the food that I bought. So yeah, Tundra is just full of energy today, just very wide awake. I don't know if it's the smoke or the wind or the ravens or what, but you can see I'm asking Eclipse to get out of my way. Not aggressively, but I want my space to be large, almost as large as a horse's space. And you can see how large Eclipse's space is by where Tundra was standing relative to her. This is interesting now. So I'm saying, go ahead. And Tundra usually digs right in and is quite happy, but today something is bothering her. And so she swings around and she's like, what's going on over there? Which is very, very odd for me. And so I'm going to watch with her. And she's checking in with me. Are we okay? Which I really like. So I'm going to go back to the oats and say, yeah, we're okay. Nothing bad is happening. This is extremely physical communication, though. And I need to be in her space at this point. I really want to not to be pushy, but to be soft and to just check that she's not going to defend the oats from me, which is a real safety concern. I need to be able to go right into her space while she's eating and while she's doing anything and not have her swing around and push me away like she would do with Eclipse or Blue Jay. So I make a point of being soft, but being with her while she's eating. And the other 2 horses too, but they're older, and so it's not so much of a learning curve for them. And we're just having a little conversation because she's not settling. You can see the ravens in the back. Ravens are just so loud. So the energy's coming down in the corral a little bit. Everybody's got their food. Security. Again, this makes me think of my inner team and the importance of taking care of everybody. But see, look at this. She's leaving her oats. They're not done. She's kind of pushing in on Eclipse's space, and then she's pushing in on Blue Jay's space, and then she's coming back around. And I'm just watching to see because this is puzzling to me. I'm very aware of where I am relative to these horses when I walk in the herd. As you could see, they have so much power, so much energy, and it's very important that they see me as taking up more space than I physically do. I want them to swing wide of me, and I want them to, there we go. I want them to allow me in, not as a ranking thing so much as a clear communication. I'm not here to take your oats, although I could if I needed to. And yeah, I guess it is a ranking thing. Now you see the two circling, and Tundra is taking Eclipse's oats, which is funny because she has exactly the same feed in her bucket, but she never actually finishes it. And here's Blue Jay calmly eating her senior feed. Tundra never settles, and when I went back after walking the dogs, she was still not, she hadn't finished her oats. She had eaten some of them, but not all of them. So it was just an interesting breakfast today. And that's it for chores. Good girl. And we'll head back to the house. They need a little bit of a rest, and then we will feed them.